All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this podcast, this episode of Thinking Aloud. Try to get the beach in the background, so you guys might hear the water crashing. I might not sound as clear, but I'm going to sacrifice that for two camera angles. I was going to go with the one camera angle and then go for the better audio. Some people might be like, hey, bro, you tweaking on that. You should, but I don't know, bro. There's something about that view from right there and then this view from right here. I feel like that shit's mad killer. So we had to go too. We had to go with that. But nonetheless, jumping in, bro. I had on some all-white G Fazos for the fit, but it wasn't working on the beach. It wasn't. So I put on the slides. Thank God I brought the slides. This is still crazy. As y'all can see by that title, see by that thumbnail, we back with another banger, and the topic is dating in your mid-20s. Just being with somebody in your mid-20s. Again, I start out every episode the same. These are my opinions. I'm not no expert. I'm not no psychiatrist, psychologist, or whatever. I mean, I go see one, but that's not my job. Again, I'm giving my opinions. And I feel as dating in your mid-20s, I mean, that's a tough thing to navigate, you feel me? Because you're chasing not only your own personal goals and what you want for yourself, but then you meet, people throughout your journey, and you really connect with them, and you want to, per se, you want to build something with them, but not all the times what you have in store for yourself lines up with what that person has in store for their self. And again, I mean, just that whole topic of doing that in your 20s, I mean, from your 20s to your 30s or whatever, a lot of people say, oh, your 20s is used to, fuck shit up and then figure it out later. Bro, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I got no time to, fuck shit up and figure that shit out later. As I'm going through my journey, as I am, I learn things and I know what not to do again. But I don't think I have the time to just go and, say, forget this and forget that and figure it all out when I turn 30. Absolutely no way do I want to be figuring out financial stuff when I'm 30 and this and that when I'm 30. The last thing I want to worry about when I'm 30 is financials. I want to have that bag and secured and locked off by the time I turn 30. Honestly, by the time I turn 26. I don't want to have to worry about money. You feel me? But I also feel like that's a big part when you're dating in your 20s because, I mean, you look at social media. You got this couple, they're flying here, they're going there, they're buying this, they're doing that. And you're like, whoa, I want that. I want to do that in my relationship. I want a vacation. I mean, I feel like social media plays a really big part into why relationships don't last today, in today's age. Especially with when it comes to how you're supposed to treat this person. Oh, you can't take them to Cheesecake Factory, or you can't take them to do this. What about just doing something that makes the both of you guys happy? You feel me? But social media has it so misconstrued. No, your man gotta take you to Michael Jordan Steakhouse. He gotta take you to Ruth Chris. You're not being treated like the queen you're supposed to be if he not dropping a bag on you. When I mean, it's as simple as, let's back up, bro. I know I love this dude. He's expensive. He's what? Dogs are $4,000 a year. I love this dude. I said, hey, bro, I love you so much. I know you've never been to the beach. Let's go. Let's hop in the car. Let me take you to the beach. Boom, drove him to the beach. Unconditional love. Who's never been to the beach? He's at the beach. Even though he's from California, he ain't never been to the beach. California next month. But I don't know. I feel like it's stuff like that. Little stuff. Obviously, he's a dog. He's not a woman. It's a lot easier. But I'm kidding. But in a stance of just, I know for a fact, let's take myself for example, me trying to date in my mid-20s or in my 20s in general. I had a relationship early on in my early 20s and I was thought, oh man, this is gonna be it. But I could say for every day that relationship went on, what I wanted and what I wanted at the beginning slowly started to fade away and become what we wanted. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially if you two are aligned and you guys are locked in and you guys are chasing the same goal. But for my instance, I know I wanted to go off and I want to own S&P 500. I want that. I want to own a Fortune 40 company, 100%. And I know when I was in that relationship early on, man, that went out the window and I started thinking about owning a dog farm and just, housing dogs and just spending my time with dogs. I do love dogs, but that's not what I want to do with my whole life. But that's kind of what I shifted to once I was in that relationship with that person because that's what we wanted. And at the end of the day, of course, when you're with that person, you just want to be with that person. You guys want to have fun. You guys want to be happy. You guys want to be at peace. But a lot of those times it comes with sacrificing your own mental peace. And I feel like for me, that was a big thing where I felt like I was always putting somebody forward you know. And I felt at a time where I was like, dude, I got to be selfish for myself. And once I had that mentality thought in a relationship, boom, it was over. I mean, that's just not a good mentality to have when you're in a relationship. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, and you were putting that person forward every single day. The second you think, I got to put myself forward, I got to be a little selfish, it's not going to work. My personal, what you're saying that you have to be selfish about, and now you got to put something forward, what is that exactly? You know? In my case, it was like I just felt like I had to go and do more for myself and, you know, chase what I wanted. And and a long story behold, bro, I'm here on the beach in Mexico, and I don't associate with that person no more. I wish them nothing but the best, of course. But this is what I wanted to do in my life. You know, I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to be able to, you know, speak to, you know, thousands of people and whatnot. Mark my words, I will get to that point. This is what I wanted out of my life. You know, I wanted to be able to travel and, you know, go through different experiences and whatnot, and like, you know, live my life truly before I could say, okay, I want to go and settle down and buy a house with a farm and take care of a bunch of dogs. Because dude, taking care of one dog is hard enough. You can't even go on a vacation without having the right people come and take care of them. Now imagine having a whole farm full of dogs. It's just that it's hard. So very much happy to where my life turned out. Does it get lonely at the top? Absolutely. You guys heard me say this in multiple vlogs. It gets very lonely, but then that's why I have this view. You keep yourself busy, you work, you do your stuff, yada yada yada. You're content, you know, and then you get those moments like this, and you just so filled with like happiness. Now, I wouldn't sit here and say like if I had a very beautiful woman that I was very much intrigued with and like, you know, having that type of relationship with, if they were right here with me, that would be amazing. You know, who wouldn't? You know, we're human. We want that. But at the end of the day, it's not worth sacrificing what I know I want for myself down the line just to like fit with somebody else, just to make a puzzle piece fit. And I read a meme a long time ago, and it said, I'm not forcing anything except a rubber band around a stack of cash. And I felt that. Because when I stopped putting personal feelings and personal relationships in motion before what I knew I should be doing, everything changed for me. 1, financials. 2, career. 3, just environment. It really became more about what I see myself doing when I was a 16-year-old kid to like now I'm actually doing that. Dude, I'm sitting on the beach with my Doberman dog and all white, feeling godly, you know, like I'm feeling good. We're gonna go get some good food after this podcast, man. We're gonna get our feet wet in the beach. You know, we might even stay the night and grab a resort, and I'm gonna be sipping on some cocktails. So I say that to say the least that I feel like dating in your mid-20s, it can be challenging, but it's not impossible, because obviously we see it. People get married when they're 19, 20, 21, 22, whatever it is. And I love that. Like, it might not look like it, or I might not ever talk about it, but like, I am a fella who loves love. I love love. I love watching these people be in love, because I like being that way, you know. But it's hard, you know, especially like I guess in my case, like I'm always on go. I'm always boom, 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 boom. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, or I have so much to do on my plate, and it's hard for me to settle down. But the biggest thing is, it's hard for me to settle, because I'm not gonna settle. You know, I could definitely say I've had countless opportunities within like the last year to date, probably like over 5 women, and obviously I am still single because I chose to not settle. I can't settle. You know, it's not like, oh, her big toe is big, or her hair is blue, or it has nothing to do with like small things like that. It's more about like, 1, how I pictured myself in a relationship with somebody. 2, how I feel like that vibe would feel, because you know, you felt it before in the past with people and stuff like that, so you want that, but like +1. In my eyes, if I'm gonna sit here and say I'm gonna be with you, I'm gonna marry you, I'm gonna give you this and this and that, I gotta be able to like, oh, you're the woman for this, not, oh, I'm gonna compromise on that and compromise on that. There's gonna be compromise, I know that, but I just feel like for like the small things and like the little things to me that end up to be like the big things, I can't compromise. Like, no, I can't. You feel me? So that's why I choose to be single still. And honestly, being a single is a lot more peaceful than wishing you were at peace. I'm gonna say that one more time. Being at peace is so much better than wishing you were at peace. Let me rephrase it for you. Being alone is so much better than wishing you were alone. And the aspect of, yeah, you have this girl, oh, you have this person who's hot. The world, society thinks she's this, or this guy who's, you know, he has top dollar, he has a great job, but then they just ignore you, or they don't bring you mental peace. And you hang out, you just feel like path. This is not peaceful. This is not a good situation. This is not, you know, you've been there. Everyone's been there. You've been in a relationship with a person where you're just like, bro, this person is agitating. Or I got to take some time away. Or it's just like, it shouldn't. In my eyes, I don't feel like it should be like that. I feel like I should be able to go off and get lost with myself as I do, like this. And I feel like being with my plus one or my partner, I feel like now it's us going to get lost together from everything else. And I don't feel like I've had that in a long time. So I know that's why I'm single. At 25 years old, I know that's why I'm single, because you gotta be able to bring me mental peace. I mean, there's a lot that goes on in my head because there's a lot that goes on in my life. There's a lot that I'm chasing. There's a lot that I don't understand. There's a lot that I wish to understand. And I need somebody with me who's gonna be able to, like, one, understand that, and we're gonna navigate that whole thing together. And I feel like a lot rides on that, you know, because at the end of the day, not only are you a young man chasing your goals, but this young lady, she's a young woman chasing her goals as well. And it takes two strong-minded people to understand that. And I'm better at the end of the day, like, I don't feel like one person will ask another person to put them in front of them. Like, this lady should not ask this man to put his career or her in front of his career. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you have to chase what you want to chase, because at the end of the day, if you don't and you stop that for a person, you're gonna feel animosity. You're gonna feel regret. 20 years down the line, yeah, you have this person, you love this person, you built all this stuff, but then you never got what you wanted out of life. You might feel like a failure, you might feel unaccomplished, you know, and I don't feel like somebody who truly loves you and who truly knows you would want that for you. They would not ask you to sacrifice something that you know you've been chasing, and something that you know you want, and something that, I mean, that you deserve, you know. As long as you go out there and you get it and you put your best foot forward, you deserve it, you go get it. You know, somebody who loves you is not going to ask you for that, because one thing I learned is people who love you will not ask you for a piece of your success. They're going to wish and nothing but success for you. But people who are just there for the ride, and people who just want a little handout, they're going to always ask for something. It's always going to be, hey, what can you do for me? Or, hey, can I get something? Like, oh, can I tag? Like, it's always going to be something that they can get out of it. But people who truly love you, they're not going to ask you for your success. They're going to watch the ride. They're going to see it. And I know for a fact, I show love a lot to a lot of people. I got to put my shades back on. I feel like I'm not going to say nothing crazy, but I got to put this back on. I know I show love, because I've been doing it for years, when I had no reason to, and even now I have no reason to, you know, but I do it for the simple fact of, though, something inside me is just like, yo, I don't know you, but I've seen your hustle, and I'm just like, dude, like, congratulations, like, nothing but respect. I mean, it's hard to pull yourself up by your own bootstrap, bro. It's hard to have real merit. You know, it's hard to just be a good person and know, like, dude, this shit gets lonely, this shit gets hard, but I'm chasing something down the line that I know that my future self is gonna be like, holy crap, dude. Like, it's weird. Like, sometimes, like, I feel very euphoric, especially when I leave the gym. You know, like, I get like real, like, you know, the scene from Spider-Man when you have, you know, Andrew Garfield, you have Tobey Maguire, and you have New Boy, Tom Holland. They're all in the circle. Dude, that's how I feel when I, like, think about my life, you know, especially when I'm feeling very euphoric, because, like, again, my present self will feel, man, this is hard. This is lonely. Fuck. It would be a lot easier to be where I was a year ago, 2 years ago, when I was, like, in this place and I felt so much love and it was easy, and I was like, okay, well, I don't have to put too much thought or, you know, and whatnot into it. And then, like, I think about my future self, and I think about all three of us and how it would be in a circle if I could, like, mesh with my future, present, and my past self. And it would be pretty much my future self would be sitting there, like, smiling hard, like, God damn, you guys did the unbelievable. Like, you guys did something that, like, I knew we could do, but holy hell, you guys did the hard part of it. And then me now would be like the guy who, like, pretty much did all the hard work. Like, I'm thanking my past self for realizing the situation that I was in before was not for me and I needed to do better. So he took the quantum leap. Boom, he took that leap. And then this guy, me now, took the steering wheel and, like, drove this fucking boat to where we had to get. You know, and that's navigating everything that comes within this now. You know, these are things that I speak on currently in podcasts. And then my future self is gonna be the guy that's in some boom boom overly, you know, nice estate with my boy Hades, and we're walking around with shirtless, we're feeling good, and that guy's gonna, like, that guy wants to give the other two, past and present, a hug, because that's just amazing, you know, when you think about it like that. when I think about my life and where it is in the future or where it's gonna be in the future, I always thought about it was gonna be me at the top of the mountain, and then I got this dude, and then it became me and this dude. Always me and this dude. I always think about me and Hades. How can me and Hades do this? I want to go to Mexico. I want to go to Mexico and pop off and go to the nightclub, but that wasn't in the books for me right now. What was in the books for me and Hades? That was coming to the Mexico, coming to the beach, getting some good food, filming a podcast, enjoying my time with him. You know, like things shift, just like they do in a relationship. And honestly, me dating right now in my mid-20s, bro, like this is all the dating that I need, bro. He's a lot. He's a lot of work, and I care for you a lot, all the time, constantly, 24/7 when I'm at work, when I'm on vacation and everything, you know. So I would definitely say right now, I'm pretty much, I can say on my own behalf that I know right now in my life at 25, I'm pretty much dating myself because I know I owe it to myself to give myself what I didn't have in the past and what I want in the future. And ooh, that was powerful. Ooh, that was powerful. But no, that's why I know I can't hold it down, you know, in at 25 right now. Not that I can't, but it hasn't been the right thing, bro. And if I post this podcast and a month or two later, and some woman comes into my life, bro, I promise y'all, I will put her on the podcast with the simple fact of if it's that great of a woman to be able to change what I'm saying right now, bro, like, well, I gotta show her off to the world. You feel me? Like, I gotta show y'all something. I gotta let y'all know something. You feel me? So, but that is where I'm at right now. At 25 years old, I want to travel the world. I want to sit on beaches for weeks at a time, like I'm gonna do. You know, I want to go to different countries. I want to eat different food. I want to travel. I want to party. I want to go to raves. Like that's what I do right now in my current life, and I feel nothing but happiness. You know, food brings me happiness. Friends and family brings me happiness. Money brings me happiness. I don't care what nobody says or who's watching this and says that money don't bring happiness because maybe you just never didn't have it. But when you never had it and you get it, bro, money brings you happiness. You know, because you can buy things with money. Point blank period. Things you can sit and be miserable about when you don't have it, and then things you don't even have to think about when you do have it. So, yeah, friends and family, you know, good times, traveling, money, you know, like things that people try to say don't bring them happiness. I would say it does bring them happiness. I feel like the biggest one is definitely like money. I see the little vendor dude who like begged me to buy a hat. He's coming back. I didn't buy a hat. Motherfucker said $35 for something. I don't know. It smelled like somebody's garage. Bro, I'm not gonna put that hat on my head, bro. And plus, I wear these little hats like this all the time, bro. Which I'm definitely switching up the style, bro. I got a whole little line of like fitted caps coming in. That's another vlog. That's another story. That's another whatnot from another time. But yeah, that is why I guess I feel that is my take on dating in your mid-20s, especially when like you're chasing a real goal. You know, like I know there's people who don't got no aspirations for themselves, and then people are quick to settle. But dude, I can't settle. I feel like if I settled, I would end myself, you know, because I would always think about what it could have been and what it is, and I just wouldn't be happy. I can't do that to myself, bro. You got one life, bro, and you got to go all the way with it. And if I don't go all the way with what I know I want, let's say like even in a love life perspective, why if I'm going to settle for that, then I know I'm going to settle in a career, and I'll be damned if I'm working at like Subway or McDonald's a few years from now at 30-something years old. There ain't no money in that. But I'm trying to drive Rarries and Rolls trucks and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Like, I got real big goals for myself, and I know I'm going to achieve them. And not saying that the relationship holds you back, but I know the time where I was in a relationship, from the time when I was in a relationship for 3 years, I kid you not, bro, I lost $40,000. Not that I lost 40 bands, but I had the chance to make 40 bands during that time period that I was with this person. And not that this person didn't push me to be the best that I could be, or you know, things like that people do in a relationship. I just didn't have that motivation to do so. Because again, what I wanted became what we wanted, and this person had money. They didn't care about, you know, 40 bands. They had more than that, but I didn't. So I was like, well, fuck it. If they got money, we chilling, we but that's not it. Like, I had to go out and make it for myself, because I was like, dude, like, if I want to be the man that I know I can be, bro, one, I feel like that comes with financial security for myself and for the people that I'm, you know, serving, per se, protecting or whatever, caring for. So right there and there was like, I know I had to make something shake, something quick for myself to be the man that I seen in myself be. And I don't always want to take care of my family, and I feel like money is a big part of that. And again, I say this to say that I don't think a relationship holds you back, but like me knowing and me calculating the amount of money that I lost in that relationship in 3 years, I said, damn, dude, if you go forth and you put yourself on the front line and you do for yourself what you did for, whatnot in a relationship, what can you end up with in 3 years? I've been on my own now. I think I've been single now for about 2 years. Give me another year, gang. Give me another year and see if I got that 40 bands that I lost in the bank account. That's all I'm saying. Because it's really like that, dude. Like when you really put yourself forward and you really focus on like goals, because I'm very goal oriented. And honestly, I got into the point where like I don't even set goals no more. I just set agendas. Because I know I'm gonna hit my goal. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of when. So I set goals. I set a schedule. Like boom, I gotta get this certificate for my project management, so I can finally, like I told myself, once I'm finished with like all my project management certifications and schooling, I'm gonna get back into owning a business. Like I had before, I had a vending machine business, and I loved it. I told myself once I finish these certifications, I'm gonna get back into that. I'm gonna have another business. I'm gonna start up another business. So once this is done, boom, new business time. So it's literally just all about following the schedule. And this is like, bro, my plate is huge. And I posted something on my social media the other day, and it said, you can't cry about having too much on your plate when the goal was to eat. Bro, I know I have a lot on my plate. I know sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? I know like I said before, it gets lonely. Sometimes you might even cry yourself to sleep at night because it gets so hard. But I never cry myself to sleep in the aspect of, damn, this shit is hard. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm like, damn, this is hard, but like I'm gonna figure out a way to do it. And I wake up the next day and I wake up and get it. 6 a.m. We get in the gym. We on to the next thing. We finishing this. We finishing that. It's all about how you tackle it. It gets hard. It gets lonely. It does. And any successful person will tell you that. But it's all worth it in the end, in my opinion. And I can't see what it's gonna be in 10 years, 5 years. I can't even see what it's gonna be tomorrow or next month. But I know what I'm chasing and what I'm working towards. It's gonna be damn close to what I see in my head, because the stuff that I've done now was only like a blanket of what I thought I could do, and when I'm doing it, it's like, oh my goodness, like crazy. Like you guys heard me say before, when I was 16, I wanted to live on the West Coast. I wanted to be absolutely ripped, and I wanted to be like whipping breakfast, with my dog. Bro, I do that now. I live on the West Coast, beautiful view. I got my dog, a beautiful fucking dog. And we whip it up all the time, bro. On the days that it's a Cubs game, bro, we eating steak and fries for lunch. And we're chilling, drinking whiskey lemonade, dude. Like, it's a different life that I never thought. And I know that whoever's proud of me, I'm proud of you. For the simple fact of being a real ass, you feel me? And whoever's not, then I wish you nothing but the best, and may God help you on your journey. Because this is my journey, and I appreciate anybody who like tunes in to watch tunes in to even care what I say, but like to even give them your time. And it's crazy. I say this all to say that I do believe dating in your 20s, mid-20s, it's challenging. If you're up for the challenge, go forth and do it. And put yourself forward. And I'm looking right now because I seen Hades' sweater that he's supposed to have on for the podcast, but we out here on the beach, so I'm not going to do that to him. I'm going to let him do his thing. I see also another dude in his house over there. He's looking at me. He's like, why is this dude filming me? So that's kind of funny. But I say that to say the least, if you're looking to date in your 20s, in your mid-20s, and it's for you, like, because it is for people, like, if people make it happen, then you do that. And I love that for you. I love love. So just know, if you have a thought in your head about what I ever said about a relationship and not putting yourself forward, just know I love love. And if that's genuine love, it's hard to meet genuine people. Lock in, don't let it go. But if you're figuring out if you should chase love or money, chase the money. Because guess what? That love part is still going to be there, because in most cases, love is just temporary. So if you find it now or you find it later, guess what? You still going to have it. You might go through some lonely parts, but then when you do get it, you know how to cherish it, and you won't let it go. I feel like that's where I'm at right now. Real still. I feel like I'm at the point where like I've had it, I know what it is, I know how it feels, but I feel like I want so much more for myself right now. But when I do find it again, I'm not gonna let it go, because it is so fragile. Anything can change. People's emotions change, especially over time. So when you find it, don't let it go. Don't fuck it up. I know I fucked it up a few times, but that was also me being hard-headed and trying to find, not hard-headed, but like me being like, I gotta find what I want, and I found this, but like, goddamn, sometimes it's just not the right time. And I know a lot of guys have said that you find this girl who's amazing, but it's just not the right time. You know, I feel like I've had that for sure, 100%. But like I've said in those situations, like I'll say, nah, I don't regret anything and I won't change anything because everything that I've done has put me here to put me where I have to go. And I won't change any of that. So, me and my boy Hades, we're going to enjoy our time here on the beach. There's more people popping out. We vibing, bro. We really in Mexico. We only drove 3 hours to get here. That's from the crib. So we're gonna be back here pretty often. Next time I come down trying to bring Tim, you already know. Tim didn't want to come. He's like, I don't want to forget my passport. He's gonna see this. I know he's gonna think it's funny. But we coming back down here for a show. We trying to get on the ATVs. We trying to get out on the boat. We trying to go crazy, get a room, all that. It's gonna be lit. But we out here in Mexico, man. We outside. We getting lit. You see your boy out here with the real hood and whatnot. But I owe it to my boy to get him to run up and down this beach. So without saying, to say the least, do what you feel is right in your heart. Don't do whatever Deshaun thinks. You feel me? Do what you feel is right in your heart. And I know I'm gonna do what's right in my heart. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be here and be exactly where I am right now speaking to you guys. So, without further ado, we're going to close out this episode and we're going to get into Mexico and what everything Mexico has to offer. Y'all be out for the vlog. Be out on the lookout for the vlog. The vlog is going to drop first and then the podcast is going to drop after that. Y'all know how we do. I appreciate y'all tuning in for this episode of Thinking Aloud. I don't even know what episode it is on. I know we've been going crazy with the episodes, but I've also slowed down because I'm trying to make sure they're like good quality episodes. Like, so it's like stuff like this. So when y'all click on, y'all like, yo, what is bro doing? Bro is at the beach in Mexico? Yes. Like I already put the cat out of the bag, but next trip is to San Diego, so that's when the next vlog is going to drop because we're looking up to San Diego to go to that beach. Because Hades is actually from LA, so I want to take him up there. So we're going to hit the beach in San Diego, but we're going to drive up to see his people up in LA. But without further ado, bro, we're going to close out this episode so we can go and enjoy our time in Mexico. I love y'all all. I really appreciate you guys, giving me your time and just watching my podcast. I'm going to keep them coming. I'm going to keep ramping them up, but I want to up the quality. I want to up the production. So if I'm dropping these episodes too slow for you guys, I do apologize, but I want them to be good quality. How the last video was when I first introduced Haiti, that is not something I wanted to drop. That's not something I wanted to put out. But I did anyways because I wanted to keep the streak of, dropping every week. That's not something I'm going to do anymore because I told myself that's not something I was going to ever do, was just force a video. So if it's not something I'm completely happy with, something I'm completely proud of, I'm not going to drop it. So be on the lookout for great content coming, quality content coming. I can't promise you guys it's going to be a podcast every Friday because I don't want it to be just a shit podcast. But I can promise you that there's going to be real stuff I really have to share from my heart, from my life, like this episode was. Because this was a big topic to me, man. I drove here this whole time. I'm like, what topic do you? Don't do that one. What topic do you? Don't do that one. Like, I kept saying, don't do this topic. I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I didn't want to say anything to offend anybody. But honestly, fuck them. This is my life. You watched. It's not the first. I know that there's people who felt some type of way off my podcast before, and my same thing is fuck them. I knew when I started this podcast I was going to hurt people's feelings. And as you guys can see, I don't say nobody's name. I don't say anything. I speak on situations and I speak on what I did. And I always say, if I fucked up, I fucked up. I say that. Y'all can watch my podcast back. So if you get hurt off of my podcast and what I have to say, then sorry, fuck you. Those are your feelings. You need to know how to navigate them better because not everything is, check it out to, hit you. Because I said nobody naming this. And I could drop every female who tried to date me in this last year's name. But I wouldn't do that because that'd be like hella douchebag. And I would have to remember though. All right, y'all. Peace out. Love.